Hello, this is Spacedraptor, and today we're going to tackle the subject of consoles versus PC, because it's something I've seen videos on, and the videos are usually bias one side or the other, and I kind of like to do a definitive video on this if I can. I don't think there really is a proper definitive video because of people's opinion will always colour and bias the video, even this one. So basically, which is better? And the answer is it depends. And one of the biggest things that it depends on is the software that it runs. I'm always of the opinion that a machine is only as good as the software it runs. So I could sit here and extol the virtues of PC gaming until you're blue in the face. But if you don't like any of the games on that PC gaming platform, you're going to have a miserable time playing that PC. I don't care who you are. I don't care, if you're a die-hard PC guy and it's just better. You're going to have a miserable time if you don't like the games on that platform. Or there's something about Steam that you don't like, because pretty much if you're a PC gamer now, you've got to put up with Steam. There is goodoldgames.com, and there's Origin and Uplay, but generally your biggest proportion of games are going to be on Steam. So if you don't get on with Steam, basically, possibly not be a PC gamer. Simple as. Right? So there's that angle of it. And the other angle I always say is, what control option are you comfortable with? Even now, PC gaming wise, I'm not very comfortable with a mouse and keyboard, and somebody can tell me that it is the better way of inputting into a first person shooter. Until they are blue in the face, I am just not very comfortable with it, and I have tried and tried and tried, and there are some games I have to play with a mouse and keyboard, so I do spend hours on time with a mouse and keyboard playing, but I just prefer to play with a controller, and that's just the way it is. So if I can get a PC game running with a controller, I usually have an Xbox 360 controller because it's my favourite controller of all time, basically, and I'll play it with that. I'm not too keen on the Xbox One controller, and I really didn't like the any of the PlayStation controllers. So, they're the two variables that you've got: software and input device. And my favorite input device is an Xbox 360 controller, and my favorite software is stuff like Halo, Forza. So pretty much it's a safe bet I'm going to be really well at home on the Xbox platform. Now, I'm not saying that you should go to the Xbox platform, because maybe you don't like any of the games on the Xbox platform, and maybe you prefer Gran Turismo to Forza, and you like that kind of driving game, and you preferred Resistance to Halo. I actually like Resistance Fallen Man, funny enough, for mentioning that game. Or you're a diehard SOCOM fan. You belong on the PlayStation. I personally belong on the Xbox, but you belong on the PlayStation if that is your preferred game. Now, one of the things I had a problem with the DualShock 3 was every time I played a first-person shooter with it, I kept pressing in the right analog stick, and there was always a function attached to it, and while I'm trying to shoot, that function was actually, it's usually a knife, and instead of shooting, I'm knifing somebody and I die, and that is incredibly frustrating and shouldn't be happening, and it never happened to me with an Xbox 360 controller. So basically, I didn't have a great time with the PlayStation. I did try, but it wasn't for me, and that's what I'm saying. It just wasn't for me. I'm not dissing the PlayStation in any way, shape, or form. I really don't like playing PC games with a mouse and keyboard. I prefer the controller again. So wherever I can, I use a controller. And I'd really like my driving games on PC, my driving sims, and I like to use a wheel with that now. And basically, that wheel will last me a lot longer on PC than it would do on, say, something with a 6 or a 10-year shelf life. So really, I suppose the place for me is somewhere in between Xbox and PC. And that's what's good for me. But I am not suggesting that is what is good for you. What you've got to take, as I say, what you've got to do is take a good, long, hard look at what kind of games you like. And if you're new to gaming, and this is the reason why you're hitting into my video, best advice I can give you is go to the place where it's cheapest for you, so you can try out gaming in general. Whether that be Android, whether that be PlayStation, whether that be Xbox, whether that be PC, just wherever it is cheapest for you to start gaming, just start there. And then you sort of get an idea of what you like game-wise and what you don't like, and then you can make a more informed decision, maybe on a next generational kind of change around. And I always look at the numbers as well. When the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One kind of got announced, it wasn't looking like it was a really good deal for gamers, to be honest, and it looked pretty expensive. The Xbox One was £400, and there was no way on earth they must have been smoking crack when they thought I was going to pay £400 for a machine. And I wasn't really interested in spending £50 per game. So it was kind of the month before that I kind of built a gaming PC because I had the money. It was just the fact that I couldn't see myself spending that on an Xbox One for the £400. So what I did was I spent £220 building a gaming PC. In fact, it's that same gaming PC that I am using now. So the fallacy that gaming on a PC is more expensive is just that. It is a fallacy because it cost me £220 to build this machine, bar a £15 stick of RAM that I've put in there extra, and a few let's just say peripherals that I bought to make my life more comfortable on the PC. It's pretty much, this is the PC. Oh, and I bought a slightly larger hard drive as well. This is the PC that I built nearly 3 years ago. Well, about 2.5 years now. And I'm loving it. It's still running what I want it to run, and it still amazes me. I'm running. What was it? One of the games that I kind of run just recently. I was getting a solid 60 frames per second out of it, and I was absolutely amazed that my little machine could do that. And it was the Shadow of Mordor, and it was big open world. It was a big ask because I'm only on a 1 gig VRAM card, and basically with a graphics card, the 1 gig VRAM doesn't really mean much until you're in open worlds, and it can only load so much virtual RAM into the GPU at one time. So open worlds really affect the smaller cards like that. But basically, yeah, I'm having a really, really good time with the PC. I'm really glad I bought into PC. And now I'm kind of thinking, well, I was thinking that maybe when the consoles got cheaper, I may get a console. But I don't think so now. I'm really at home. I've got a lot of games on PC now. And my games collection, because I've got kind of 4 children, my games collection is digitally. It's in the cloud, basically with my Steam account, and basically, I have a lot of games that don't take up any storage space whatsoever. So that is another plus for me. Yeah, I'm one of them people that I really like physical copies, but when you're talking 220 games and having physical copies of 220 games, It's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? That is just walls and walls of games. I just couldn't house, and to be honest, my kids would probably wreck them on me anyway, and that would be another stress for me. So this is another reason why PC gaming is probably the right place for me, because I haven't got little fingers trying to wreck my games on me. And because it's digital, it will just download again and again and again, and there's no disk to wreck either. So there's benefits for me there. But again, if you're a single person and you can keep things behind glass cases and you really like the physical copies, that's the place where you should be. You know what I mean? With a console. So these are just my thoughts on this, and you tell me in the comments below what you think. I've tried to be as unbiased as possible. I hope it's been helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.